Hey there, everybody. I hope you are having a good Thursday. It's Thursday, y'all. You know how much I love Thor. I couldn't miss up an opportunity to wish you a great Thursday. I have a couple new journals ready to go into the shop. I'll be putting those in the shop a little later on this afternoon. I hope that you guys are having a wonderful Thursday. It's kind of been one of those days here where it just hasn't quite gotten off the ground yet. It's been dark and dreary all day long, but I did get some cheerful news. I read that March the 11th, which is next Sunday, is not this coming up Sunday, but the Sunday after, is the daylight savings time. Yay, yay, yay. So more hours of daylight per day. That makes me really, really happy. Also, happy full moon. We did not have a full moon in February, sorry. Had two in January, did not have one in February, so happy full moon day. This little book is all about the kitty cat. I do not have cats of my own, but I am a cat sitter for some friends of mine. And so kitty cats are kind of near and dear to my heart, as I know that they are near and dear to y'all's heart as well. Whoever knew that there were so many names for kitty cats? Snowshoe kitty cat, Sphinx kitty cat, Ragamuffin, Devon Rex, Savannah cat, a Mancoon, Tabby, a Munchkin. I just never knew there were so many names for cats. And we finished this book with a little bit of black glass beads, green glass beads, and some of these cool like beads. I thought these were so neat. They're very different looking, and I thought that they looked very cat-ish as well. I am fascinated by my little Daisy's eyes. I cat sit for Miss Daisy when her mommy and daddy are out of town. So let's take a look at this book. I used a closure that featured hearts because, like I said, you know, we love our kitty cats, and we love our doggies. We love our pets in general. We're starting off, I was very lucky, y'all, to get some calendars, a kitty cat calendar that someone just sent me. And I thought, oh my goodness, those would make like perfect pockets. You know, the calendar pages would make perfect pockets. Look at that little baby, isn't that sweet? So the pockets just turned out, you know, great because somebody sent me a calendar. Your story is right here, and your storybook is right here. Remember that you're getting some sticky notes, so you can kind of peruse your book and note what is very interesting to you. There's also a skinny book in here. I love this fiber because it reminded me of kitty cat whiskers. Isn't that sweet? All right, let's get on with this. We've got lots of papers for you to play with. This is a little girl, and she's in a garden. You know, kitty cats love gardens. Got stickers for you and a pocket of things for you to play with. There's also something for you to color right here. I've got some really neat cards that have been coffee dyed that are... friend Gail sent this, and I just think they're so pretty, y'all. Very, very pretty. You know, they're done on the corners, done right at everything. Art Angel, believe it or not, Art Angel sent me a book about kitty cats, which just fit perfectly with what I was doing today. It's a book called The Cat Book, and it is just really neat. It was published in 2007, so it's not old ephemera, but it's got oldish illustrations in it, and I just thought it was really pretty. A magazine page. We know how kitty cats love birds, and I believe that's a red-headed woodpecker right there. I love these book plates. They're very pretty, and the paper is like exceptional on them. Very cool. And like we said, you know, kitties love the garden, so I've got some bird baths. You know, kitties like to play in the bird baths. A friend of mine adopted a dog, and he likes to play in the bird bath too. He likes to jump up on the bird bath and drink the water. Ick. More kitty cat, a cat book in here for you. Don't you love these illustrations? They're so neat. And another little pocket full of goodies for you to play with. There's a that's a little porcupine, I believe, and he's got a butterfly and a net right there. He's been out butterfly hunting. A sweet little kitty cat Valentine card that says, I've got designs on you. And this is a new card, but it features flocking, which you know how much I love that. And some frogs. I got some... Oh, it's so cool, y'all. It's graphic 45 paper, and it's educational paper, you know, ABCs and little kids learning to read and that kind of thing. But I thought this was really neat. It says Jolly Alphabets, and there's a little kitty cat right there. Lots of papers to play with. I love for you guys to have lots of paper to make cards with, to make tags with, to color and even send to someone. This would be a lovely piece to color and use this envelope and mail it to somebody. It's chock full of cards for y'all to play with. This is a little kitty cat piece that says, you're my BFF. It has a sticker down there and a skinny book right here. This is a pocket that's made from scrapbook paper that features a tree. We know that kitty cats love, love, love to climb trees, and often they don't like to climb back down. I saw an episode of Andy Griffith not long ago, and that was like Andy's thing to do that day, was to go get Mrs. Jones's cat out of a tree or something like that. It was really sweet. I love Andy Griffith. Usually at 8 o'clock I watch Andy Griffith. One of my favorite things to do. This little page talks about animals and their territories. So I thought that was very interesting, because animals, even domesticated animals, are quite territorial. I know my dogs freak out when they see anybody in my yard. The poor guy that checks the water meter, and you know, the people who come and empty the garbage, I mean, they just absolutely go nuts. And of course, if a kitty cat comes in the yard, then they go really, really nuts. This is a little piece from, I think it was a history, a desk reference. And this is about the habitats, life on Earth, natural world, humans and nature, habitats in danger. I thought this was very interesting reading, y'all. It says, although experience should show that environmental damage often has far-reaching effects not foreseen in the early stages of change, humankind seems in many instances incapable of learning. Political prestige and immediate gain seem to take precedence over sensible land use involving as little change as possible to natural systems. I just thought that that was such an interesting statement. You know, that's what happens, you know, development happens and we take away the habitats of animals, and it's just such a sad state of affairs. But I know that a lot of people are working on that issue and working to correct things like that and trying to be more careful about development just in general. I've got a few little game pieces in here for you, a bridge tally. My kitty Kit, who passed away in July, loved to play games. Now, he loved to watch the bird videos on YouTube, and he would play and he would bat the screen. He thought, you know, he was thinking there was a bird there. It was just very, very sweet. Now, Miss Daisy is a little more laid back. I got a fabric page for you that features kitty cats. Daisy's favorite game is, you can rub my belly. Oh my gosh, are you coming close to me? Are you going to touch me? You know. Rub my belly. No, no, no. It's her favorite game to play. She really does like to have her head rubbed. So, but she will not sit on my lap. Now, Kit was a lap kitty. He liked to sit on my lap, and oh, it was just very peaceful. You know, we'd kind of close our eyes during the day and take a little nap with that kitty cat on my lap, and it was very sweet. I miss him so much. He was a very special kitty cat. I've got a pocket full of posies for you to play with. These are flower-shaped magazine cutouts that you can stack and play with. Some ABCs for you. Another little kitty cat pocket. We've got tons of fibers up here, y'all, and new fibers as well. Look at those. That's very, very pretty, very colorful right here. This little chipboard cutout says Jolly Alphabet as well and features our little kitty cat right there. My friend Lorraine had a kitty cat and her name was Dorabella, and Dorabella's favorite game to play was Let's Bring Mama a Half-Dead Bird in the Middle of the Night. And Dorabella was really, really good at that game. This is a portion of the J. Peterman catalog that says magical and describes this truly magical jacket, y'all. It's really, really pretty. But, you know, kitty cats are magical, aren't they? They're very mystic. You know, in Egypt, they were considered a divine animal. They portend all kinds of things, you know, with the, supposedly if you hear a kitty cat walking across the piano keys, that means that someone will meet their maker that night. So here's a little piano page for you. Another little kitty cat page. I love this one. This one says, let's see, hold on a second. I love these full fold-out pages. I think they're so fun. A mouse in the paws is worth 2 in the pantry. And then there's a little bit of a Percy Shelley poem on the back. One wants society, another variety, others a tranquil life. Some want food, others is good, only want a wife. But this poor little cat only wanted a rat to stuff out its own little maw. And it were as good some people had such food to make them hold their jaw. Verses on a cat. The illustration is just so super cool. I really love it. I think this was a fabric. I'm sorry, y'all. This was a fabric, a little fabric insert right here. So we've got a dress form for you to play with right there. I think the oddest pet I ever had was an iguana. And I tell you, I just loved that iguana. We had him for 5 years. And during that whole time, my guy was on tour. And so he just became my super companion, you know, come home from work and there he was. And we would sit and have dinner together. He really did like pizza and spaghetti and things like that. He was a very, very good pet. Bless his little soul. This is a Smashbook card that says, oh my goodness, that was fun. What, where, when, with whom, and what happened. And I've got some mouse tickets up here for you that are just cute as they can be. Donna gave those to us. He says, hello. Oh my goodness, we've got some nice ephemera in here, y'all. We've got new ephemera. This is German text, and it is just gorgeous. It is so beautifully aged. A little bit of, just be careful with it, y'all. It's old and it's fragile. This is Dutch, I think. Scandinavian, maybe. I can't remember. And then this is this is French. This is German. This is Swedish, I believe. I'll have to check my references and see. Just beautiful ephemera. Love, love, love these old text pages. This is vocabulary for you. I think we've got a little bit of, yeah, some Hardy Boys in here because curiosity is common with cats, and the name of this chapter in While the Clock Ticked is called Chet is Curious. This is a little poem about kittens, and it is by Beware of Kittens by Heinrich Heine. This is about how to adopt a cat and things to do and things to don't. So I thought that was very interesting too. And you know, we can't really have a kitty cat book without talking about the Cheshire Cat from Alice in Wonderland. And this is a wonderful Peter Newell illustration. Very, very pretty. ABC is for cat. A lovely umbrella man. We have several of these along with those dress forms. I love it when we have those dress forms. They're just so pretty. And I love the word up here is indubitably. Indubitably. This is, you know, kitty cats really do think they're royalty. I mean, you better treat them like royalty, y'all. This is an ATC Fun Pack for you to play with. Lots and lots of papers. This is a recipe for kitty cat snaps. I think they are catnip snaps. So you've got a recipe so you can make your kitty cat some snaps. You know, one of the things that I remember early on in my life is watching Tom and Jerry. And that was one of my favorite cartoons. I just love Tom and Jerry. And so we see Jerry the mouse, and then Tom is right here. So I thought that this was from an old golden book, and it would be a really nice addition to this little kitty cat book. On Top of the World, this is a story about a little guy named Ben, and he loves to climb trees. And while he's climbing trees, he makes friends with the squirrels. So I thought that was a really sweet story. I know that you guys will enjoy that. Another fabric page for you, another beautiful illustration from a cat book. A little bit of Tim Holtz vellum, a wonderful little kitty cat piece. This is all the yellow down here is flocked. The yellow flowers are flocked. It says, "For Mommy on Mother's Day. Dear Mommy, you're as pretty as the flowers that grow in May. And here are lots of kisses just for you on Mother's Day." And it is signed in pencil, Georgie. 1956. Georgie is really getting good with his handwriting. That is pretty doggone good, Georgie. Good job in 1956. More papers for you to play with and a beautiful piece of Nelson ephemera. Now, I thought this was so cool, y'all, because it says Mr. and Mrs. Harry Nielsen, Beach Street, there's no number, and it just says city. I do not know how they got it, but they did in 1946, and I love the Thomas Jefferson stamp. I've made that note before, y'all, that the stamps they're so vibrant to be so very aged. You know, you would think that they had faded, but they haven't. It makes me curious about what sort of inks, you know, our forefathers used to print stamps, you know, during the 1940s. And let's see, we've got a lovely lady sitting. This is an embossed piece, so you can color it or paint it and, you know, maybe use it on a card or something like that. And she has a little bird. She has a bird in her hand. How about that? And we're finishing off with a sweet little kitty cat that is under the covers. Now, Daisy loves this big blanket called the bear, and she likes to climb into the bear. My friends keep it on their bed, and she climbs into it. So sometimes it's like, where is she? Where is she? And she is inside that big blanket. She is a doll baby. All right, guys, so that one will go in the shop a little bit later on this afternoon. We've got a sweet little garden book for you that features a beautiful butterfly on the front. There are actually two butterflies right here, and gorgeous peonies. I did go out and dig around my peonies, and they are, you know, they get like these pink nodules around the base of the plant, and I saw the pink nodules, so that means that they are getting ready to bloom, and I was able to remove all that woody portion. So I'm so excited to see my beautiful peonies. That means spring is here. This book is finished off with red, white, green, and blue glass beads, and this one is of particular prettiness because it's got some gold filling on the inside. It's very, very pretty. And I kind of love this closure. It is very characteristic, very pretty. I like it because it's square. It's a little bit different. We've got lots of hairy paper clips going on up here. So our first signature always is devoted to story. You know, I was thinking about the whole story thing, and I did ask you guys, you know, do you want to continue with the story? And I did get a lot of good feedback, you know, about keeping our storybooks in our journals. So we'll continue with that, you know. And I was thinking, I don't know if you guys have seen it seems to run on TV a lot these days, you know, the DNA kits that you can order through the mail. And you know, your DNA is like one thing, right? Your DNA may say that you are, you know, of a certain ethnic group or whatever, but you know, you got to listen to your heart too. So what does your heart say you are? You know, your DNA may say you're, you know, like me, Cherokee and Spanish, or, but you know, in my heart, I know I'm a gypsy. I'm a gypsy traveler. That's what I am. So your story can be about exactly what you want to be. Here is a little hidden pocket for you with some pretty little tags and some things for you to play with. This is from the desk reference book, Life on Earth, Natural World. This is a list of animals and mammals and where they live and habitats and things like that. A little bit about the universe, the galaxy, the Magellanic Clouds. I love these kinds of things. I am a big, huge Star Trek fan. I was amazed when the rocket went up, the Elon Musk SpaceX rocket went up the other week. I would like to see something like that. It's just amazing. Did you guys see the landing? You know, when the booster rockets came back down and landed on the pad, it was just remarkable. That's a sweet little squirrel for you. This is a little book about science and talks about animal behavior. A magazine page that says beautiful, a little bit from Cabin Living. I love the story about plowing the garden. I just thought it was really, really neat. It's based in 1939, and it is about the whole process of in 1939 plowing your garden, planting, and what you could eat and when. And it's just a sweet little story, and I know that you guys enjoy things like that. Some inspiration for you. This time it is love from Corinthians. More just little papers for you to play with. Be thankful for today and spread joy everywhere you go. I love that. I like this little piece right here. It says disconnect. Make a pot of coffee and disconnect from the world. Turn off your cell phone. Let the answering machine take care of your home phone calls. Turn off the TV and savor the silence. A little peace and quiet will rejuvenate your soul. Gosh, isn't that the truth? You know, right now we're just so connected. We're way too connected. And all that connectivity kind of makes us scattered. And, you know, we can't concentrate. And I just think turning off electronics, I know that there's a big movement about turning off electronics like on Friday nights for families and having board game night and things like that. I think that's a wonderful, wonderful thing to do. I think we all need to disconnect and get back to conversation and get back to nature. Got you a little butterfly to play with and some sweet little papers here and some ATCs. This is a postcard, so you could send that to someone for their birthday. Some more stamped tickets that are really, really neat, and inside this little pocket envelope is something for you to play with. An old playing card. I like the age on this. And there's our umbrella guy. We've got a napkin to play with. I love this paper. Beauty, inside and out, heart and soul. Got the word sweet right here. So this is just so much stuff for you to play with right here. And, you know, you've got lots and lots of papers in each pocket. So make some cards, send around some inspiration of your very own. Got a gold leaf for you. If you've never read the O. Henry story, The Last Leaf, it makes a great read this time of year. It's a great read any time of year, but it is quite inspiring. So do read the O. Henry Last Leaf story. It's really exceptional. These are from the Smash book, and it says best place to go for a date, a night out with friends, good conversation, family time, inspiration, peace and quiet. This is an ATC kit for you. It's got cards and things for you to play with, and we've got a tag up here for you. A pocket full of posies for you to construct. There's a little mouse says hello. I really think this is sweet. Lots of people want to ride with you in the limo, but what you want is someone who will take the bus with you when the limo breaks down. And that's a little quote from Oprah Winfrey. This is a This is a sticker, and lots of fun papers in here. A skinny book right here for you to play with. A little doggy, and he says, thanks. Isn't he sweet? God, I love dogs. I love animals. This is a little fashion insert. Got all kinds of things for you to play with. We've got lace. I loved this pattern folder, you guys. It's 35 cents. It's simplicity. The waist is 24. The hip is 33. I think those measurements just kind of fascinated me. Also, this says, ask for the Simplicity Pattern Book, the fashion magazine for women who sew, on sale at pattern counters and newsstands for 35 cents. I could not find a date on here, but I mean, when were newsstands selling patterns? If anybody knows, I would be really interested in finding that out. Here's a little fabric piece for you featuring dress forms. When we think about fashion, we think about portraits, and we think about, you know, how things have changed over the years and years. This was a lovely portrait. I do not know who did it. This is a magazine page about these tiny little portraits that people used to draw. An obituary in the Charleston Times noted that this author's work brought such life to the ivory that his miniatures will never fail to perpetuate the tenderness of friendship, to divert the cares of absence, and to aid affection after the death of a loved one. Just thought that was so beautiful. A little bit from the J. Peterman catalog. This is a little excerpt about Diana Vreeland. She was running both Harper's Bazaar, and, hold on a second, and Vogue magazine. Incredible. Incredible. In the 1940s, you know, I love the empowerment of women at a time when women were not empowered to do very much. That is truly fascinating. Love knowing things like that. Let me see if I can slip this back in here for you. There we go. And I love J. Peterman. Love J. Peterman. And some pattern paper for you to play with right here. Some pattern instructions. More of the tiny portraits. Y'all be careful with this paper. It was super, super, super old. I sure would love to find a date on it. It says copyright by Simplicity Pattern Company, but there's just no date. It's just really totally beautiful. Lace for you to play with. This is just a smattering of different kinds of papers. So we've got the regular kind of scrapbook paper. This is a vinyl, and this is some Tim Holtz scrunch board for you to have fun with. This is a little bit of resist paper. You can hit it with some paint or markers and watch the resist happen. A sweet little lacy dress form, more texture for you to play with, this time with different sizes of corrugated cardboard. It's one of my favorite things to play with is corrugated cardboard. This is part of the coffee calendar, Southern Coffee. Well, they're Southern people, and if they know you are working at home, they think nothing of walking right in for coffee, but they wouldn't dream of interrupting you at golf. It's Harper Lee. I've got inky papers for you. A little paper, it says hello, hello, hello. This is a collection of vintage ephemera. This is from a French dictionary that is an explanation of lines, which I just adore. So we've got French dictionary here. We have some Inspector Poirot right here. I think this is 1945 maybe. These are some gold. You can't see this on camera, but the edges of this paper are gold. This is from a book called The Incredible Journey. And some Chinese characters for you. We've got French text and German text. And I've got to see what this is, y'all. Hang on just a second, because I've got it right here. Let's see what it is. Swedish. Okay, it's Swedish. That's what I thought it was. Because in the Swedish language has the A with the circle over it. So Swedish, you guys. got so much, so much vintage text here. Very, very beautiful pages. This is, of course, Shakespeare. This is the prologue from Romeo and Juliet. It's a very beautiful piece of writing. The Confessions of Augustine and the vocabulary that's used in the Confessions of Augustine. A little chipboard piece for you that says class notes. Something for you to finish and give away. I really do like this ledger paper. This is Seven Gypsies ledger paper, but it makes a great place to list, you know, maybe you're listing your positive aspects, you're listing, you know, you're making a list for the day. It's just a great piece of paper to work with. Your vintage dictionary page is clergy, and this is a sweet little illustration from the Vicar of Wakefield. I found the prisoners very merry, expecting my arrival, and this is the vicar, and of course he is a member of the clergy. Very pretty little, and we've got a bluebird of happiness. A lady who is, it looks like she's on a cell phone and she's writing. You know, the being on the cell phone didn't attract me at all, but the writing did. This is an embossed piece that you can color or paint, do some marker on, make it your own, and then pass it along to somebody else. A beautiful little flocked card. It says, "Happy birthday to Daddy." And it is signed, "Your little boy, Georgie," in 1952. Oh man, these are just cool. So this is 1952. This is 1956, the project book for boys and girls. Very, very pretty. A little bit of sign language for you. Hand signals, you know, that's the, you do hand signals, but then if you do flags, then that's a semaphore, which is one of my favorite words in the whole wide world. This is from the 1960 Audell's DIY book, and it is how to build your own ping pong table. A few scorecards for you, a bridge scorecard, a bridge tally, more of the, I love the Seven Gypsies paper. I loved this. Now this is the 1942 Red Cross manual. This caught my eye. When parents fail to live up to their agreements, the child gets his first lesson in dishonesty. The child learns not so much from being taught by his parents as being exposed to them. The loss of respect which follows betrayal of a child's confidence is usually the beginning of discord between parent and child. Now, what interests me about this is because this book is the Red Cross Home Nursing Manual. But it is so much about all kinds of things, and it's one of the most interesting things that I believe I've ever read. So we've got more pages for you to play with. I love this paper. It's just incredible. The illustrations are beautiful. More chipboard piece for you. And the piece in the back is 1937 to Harry S. Nielsen. I love the red stamp there. I just think it is really, really pretty, and that is a 2-cent stamp. 1937, Saco, Maine, March 8th at 7 a.m. What an incredible time stamp, y'all. This book is also going in the shop a little bit later on this afternoon, which is turning into this evening. It's time for me to give my mama a ring and see what she has been up to today. It's been a dreary day, so I'm sure she's been inside all day long, but I so enjoy talking to my mama and listening to her stories about this and that and what she had for lunch and what she's going to have for dinner, and is the street light on yet, because it's been dark all day. So whatever you're doing this afternoon, I hope you have a good afternoon, y'all. Thanks for listening to me ramble and supporting the Etsy shop. I will be with you tomorrow. Thanks, guys. Bye.